Okay, so what I'd like to do now is show you some exercises you can do actually sitting on top of this, which is sometimes nice for people if when they sit down, maybe they don't have enough mobility in their hips and the legs are up in their ears and they're having a hard time trying to sit up tall and someone's trying to make you do rotations and you can't quite get there. It's nice to be able to have a little higher position to sit on. And what I like about the arc here is that it just gives us a little bit of an unstable place to sit, so you've got to work your stabilizers just a touch, and it does make it a little bit easier to relax the hip flexors. So from here you can either sit in a cross-leg orientation, you can sit in a diamond orientation, or you could sit actually with your feet out, either feet pointed or flexed, but sitting tall and thinking about trying to keep the low back in a more vertical position. Okay, so from here we can bring the arms out to the side, taking a breath in, and exhale, just rotate to one side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, rotate in the other direction. And inhale back to center. And exhale, rotate. Inhale back. Exhale, rotate. And inhale back. Now we can switch our breath and just get a little different sensation. So we're going to inhale, rotate. Exhale, feel your breath bring you back to center. Inhale to rotate. Exhale, back to center. Now, if we want to do a little something with our posture flex at the same time, I'm just going to sit here in a diamond orientation for this. You can take this where, if you notice, it's padded on both sides. What you can do is actually take this so the convex portion is down at the sacrum, or down at your kind of tailbone area. And I have particularly long arms, so you can either hold this arc just as I'm doing here, watching that your shoulders aren't coming too forward though. You really want to see if you can hold everything as open as possible. So you can be in this position, take your breath in, and exhale back to center. Inhale, and exhale back to center. So what we're doing is we're just keeping the shoulders back. Because this has a little bit of an arc to it, it will allow our upper back to rotate, but we're not necessarily rotating our lower body. So it's just allowing those arms to come with us, and it's a nice feel in the back. It's not that we're getting a stick jabbed into our back, okay? So you can also do this with your arms straighter out, and even placing the arc a little bit higher up in the back. So I'm going to place this kind of more in the lumbar spine. My arms are straight, sitting up. I'm going to go ahead and inhale, rotate, exhale back, inhale, and exhale back to center. I can do this with those legs straight. So once again, now that I have gone and actually done some mobilization to the back, we're now working it, we're now in a loaded position. We're still working on sort of stabilizing the pelvis and having the upper body work, but it just allows you to be able to do a little bit more with that. Now, if you wanted more of a challenge with regards to balance, go ahead and sit, if you are less than 500 pounds, on the arc for your back flex here. And it's definitely tippier, okay? So you've got to make sure you get your sit bones right in place, and then you've got it, but it's much easier to keep the posture if you get it. But there is a little bit more wiggle room to be had here. So I'm going to just place my legs straight out, and once again, you can have your arms in, you can have your arms out, and we'll take a breath in, rotate, exhale, back to center, inhale, exhale, back to center. And once again, you can do this in different variations. You can have one leg up, exhale down, bringing that down. Other side, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, back to center. So once again, just lots of different variations that you can do just with regards to challenging your own basic support. So those are some things you can do with regards to rotation. What's nice also is to incorporate a little bit of side flexion or lateral flexion. So what I'm going to do is just take, I'll take our back stretcher here, and sometimes this is where if you do want a little extra height there, that may feel better. And you can just come over the side and just get a stretch straight over the top. Now, if I just lie on my side like this, there's some work that's going on because I've got to balance my body and watch that I don't just fall off, especially if you're on the thinner arc. So if you need to, go ahead and bend one of your knees forward and just allow your arm to come up overhead. So we're just relaxing in the stretch. We're not doing anything fancy at this point. If you do want to get a little bit of extra stretch, you can take your hand, place it behind your head, exhale, rotate forward, inhale, rotate back. Exhale forward, inhale back. So at this point, I've got my leg down here. It's keeping me pretty stable, so I can try to get a little bit more rotation in through my upper back. Okay? And then from here, we could, if you wanted to, once again, get a little more challenge, you can try this with the your little back flex posture device, and this becomes much more interesting very quickly because you've really got to center your lumbar spine right over the side. And once again, you can just have your arm here overhead, get that stretch. We can, if we want, we can add a little bit of arm choreography here, so we can rotate the arms around, reaching it back, rotating forward, reaching back. We can have the hands behind the head, reaching forward, and reaching back. Okay, so those are some other little ideas. And obviously, if you change the position of where you have that arc, you'll get that little stretch and relaxation just a little bit higher up. So, obviously if it hurts and it doesn't feel right, don't do it. It's my general rule. But once again, it's just kind of an interesting way to work on that lateral flexion. And once again, because you're now on something a little thinner and that does move, it's interesting how much that activates a lot of your stabilizing muscles. So without necessarily having to do this very hardcore workout, you've really woken up those muscles, and so when you come up, everything feels a lot looser. So I hope that gives you some ideas of what you can use with your Sae Arcs. One thing I didn't talk about was what you can do with your feet, and I will do that in another segment.